Hey my friends, today we will be talking about the future Earth, where we are going and what can be that great realization of actions that we are taking right now, and all the changes, all the shifts in energy that are happening right now. And while talking about it, we are in another beautiful place and we are supported with the water right now. So water is a great symbol, right? Water represents flow. But if we go a little bit into Greek philosophy or Asian philosophy, we can connect water with emotions and intuition, which is truly powerful right now. Because the future in which we are going, I saw the vision of the future. I saw where we are going. But it doesn't mean that this is the fact. It means that we all can choose to experience that future. We all have infinite potentials for the future, and with our actions, with the way we see the world, with the way we see our lives and ourselves as part of the world, we can choose in which direction we are going. So this vision of the future that I saw is truly profound, truly beautiful. So I want to talk about it because that future was in the year about 2054, something like that. So what happens in the future? Because I can see in many comments, people are asking like what will happen with this pandemic and everything that is happening and the governments, and there's so much hate. There's so much mystery in the world right now. And people are focusing onto their governments. People are focusing on the problems, not with the intention to solve the problems, but rather to identify them and to blame why they feel that way. It's great to identify our problems, but our intention needs to be to solve them, not to blame them for why we feel the way we feel. So that vision of the future, which I saw, was truly amazing. So what happened in the future? It was kind of similar the way that we live right now, but the difference was that people at their young ages recognize their potentials, which means that when young children could recognize their potentials, they were aware of them, which means their awareness has expanded truly a lot, which means that also parents of those children were so aware that they were able to recognize the potential inside the children, why they are here and why it was important. Because for the people which recognize that their potential is in physical work, in their hands, they want to build something, they want to create something, they want to be mechanics, they want to fix problems with their hands and so on. Those people started developing that potential, and those people were not focusing on what governments are doing, what their neighbors are doing, on which side the grass is greener and all those things. All they were focusing on were on their potentials, which means that they have become leaders of their lives, and eventually they've become leaders of their destiny. If you are a physical worker, develop your craft, develop your gifts. That's their mentality. So there was another group of people. They were thinkers. Another group of people were thinkers. And those thinkers were thinking a lot. Those people were thinking a lot. And those people were doing the job of solving the mysteries by thinking, writing plans down, ideas. So workers could transform their ideas into physical manifestations. This is powerful because what I can see right now on the world, people are blaming everything around them, but not finding themselves as part of the problem. In the future, people recognized that they are a part of the problem. So if we want to solve the problems, means we need to change ourselves. We need to upgrade ourselves, upgrade our perceptions. And as I mentioned before, the water is all about emotions and intuition. They became more aware of their emotions. Why it is important? Because if we become aware of our emotions, we become aware of our potentials, because our emotions are guiding us. Our emotions are telling to us what are our true potentials. For example, if you are an artist, when you are creating your craft, you are enjoying in that. All you feel is joy, all you feel is love for doing that, enthusiasm, passion. But if you're doing something which is against your potentials, you will feel resentment, you will feel frustration, you will feel sadness. So emotions are telling to you in which areas of your life you should focus more. That's your emotions. So imagine what would happen if since you were little, somebody would told you, follow your feelings, listen your feelings. That's what people in the future started doing. And that's a beautiful thing. Once we recognize that the whole guidance mechanism is within us, we will start to listen to it. We will start follow to it. That's beautiful. So there was another thing, as we mentioned, governments, and we think governments are leaders of the world, and we need to put all the responsibilities to them, and we are the victims of them. That's today's mentality, and we can find it in many different places. But in the future, people recognized, if I want to experience changes in my life, I need to take responsibilities for my actions. And if actions are everything we think about, everything we feel, and everything we do with our bodies, taking responsibilities for that means that we will recognize, well, whatever is happening in my life, I'm responsible for that. I'm responsible for that. If I'm responsible for what is happening in my life, it means that I can change what is happening in my life by changing the way I think, the way I feel, and the way I act, I do, I give. People in the future became aware of it. So there's a gap between this pandemic that we are experiencing and that mystical new future, amazing future. And what is fulfilling this gap is awareness, becoming more self-aware. That's what is fulfilling this gap between where we are right now and where will we be in the future. Awareness. For those of you who are choosing right now and truly working on yourself to become more aware, you are going into that direction. For those of you who are not working on your awareness, you can still decide to work on that, because that's the only way we can survive. Because the thing is that science is actually sharing that. We are going ahead of another mass extinction. But the first time in history, the cause of it will be us, humans. We are destroying ourselves with behaviors, with the way we act on the world. And if we want to change that, if we want to change our destiny, we need to become more self-aware. That's the only way, the only solution. So we all know we need more love, right? We all know we need more love, we need more passion. And like passion can create us or can destroy us. We need that good passion. Passion for love, passion for connection. That's what is compassion. Being passionate to help others, being passionate to care for one another, that's compassion. We need more of that, and many of us are becoming more aware of that. That's the great awakening that we are talking about. The Mayans have predicted when the Earth will enter into the age of Aquarius, people will become aware of their true nature, their true power. And people are becoming aware of the true power. That's also a great thing about the age of information which we are living in right now. The information is accessible almost for everyone. So everyone can come across fearful information because it's all around there. But also everyone can come across spiritual information, how to develop yourself, how to upgrade yourself, how to connect back with your spirit. And again, it's all a choice, and we have a free will to choose where we will place our attention and what we are about to create with that. So another thing I've learned from those future people, it's not far from here. We can see that everything is speeding up right now, which also means the ascension, the upgrade, the awakening is speeding up faster than ever, and we can all feel it. Like, many people are writing me, I can feel the energy, I'm waking up, like I'm realizing things faster than ever before. I'm sleeping, and in my dreams I'm receiving answers like never before. And it is happening right now. What I've learned from this future us, I've learned that the biggest emotion or the strongest emotion we need to master is patience, being patient. Because most people do mistakes or take weird actions or wrong actions or whatever we want to call it, because they are impatient. Being patient is mastery. Because if we are working on our manifestations, I've experienced that so often, so many times. And at the beginning, it took me a long time to manifest something. For example, I was visualizing to make a living out of doing what I love, and it took me a long time, like 2 years probably. And I went through many challenges, but eventually I've manifested it. After I've manifested one thing, another one was a little bit faster, and then another one was again a little bit faster, until I've learned that it's the law of nature. Once we know exactly what we want and we are willing to walk towards it, and we are willing to reprogram our mind to think about what we want and not what we don't want, and we are willing to change our bodies to feel grateful for what we are about to experience as it is already here, things can happen really fast. After I've learned that patience, being patient, is the biggest mastery. Because by being patient, we can heal ourselves. Not waiting when it will happen, but knowing that it will happen. By being patient, we can shift our realities, because we are not waiting that those things will change. We act as they have already changed. That's power. So this future us understand that. They've mastered the patience. And right now we can see, as we are moving through all those challenges that we are facing with, many people are becoming to be impatient, because they think that life will go back to normal. If life will go back to normal, we will be gone. Because what was normal before is clearly not working. Clearly not working. So what we want to create as a new normal is to upgrade ourselves to the level where compassion, love, and care will become a norm in the society, where people will truly care about their neighbors. Not like, oh, those guys have a new car, I need to buy a new car to compete, you know, who's better, whatever. But compassionately care for one another. When we sense that somebody is dealing through something painful, we care about them, and we offer a support, an emotional support. And we start opening our hearts so we can give the honest expression of ourselves to others, so we are not wearing masks anymore, faking who we are to be accepted in the society. You will never be accepted that way. We need to pull off those masks by opening our hearts, what is truly within us. That's the only solution, my friends. And many people are doing that right now. So the government, as I mentioned before, it was completely different. It was completely different because people became leaders. Every single person, every single individual has become a leader of his or her life. Which means that societies were built by leaders, and everyone was leader. Like looking into the sky where you see birds flying together, and each bird is a leader of that community. So nobody is saying, oh, that one is more important than that one. They're saying, we are all the most important here. And you see another society there or another community, and you welcome them with open hearts because we are all equal. That's the future, my friends. But as I mentioned, we only can step into that future by expanding our awareness. That is the only way right now. So for me, it's a beautiful vision of the future. And it's truly upon us. Nobody can make it for you. Nobody can. You can say, oh, it's. People are saying it's mandatory what is happening, and all those different things. But what I've learned till now on my journey, I've learned that there's always another way. Whatever is happening outside of us, there's always another way, which most people are not talking about it. Most people are not talking about it because they don't know it. They don't know that there's another way. But there's always another way. I found out that for myself. People said it's not possible to make a living out of doing art. It's not possible to quit your job, to follow your heart, and to make a living out of that and to be free. It's not possible, but I said to myself, it is possible. And even if everything in my reality will show me that it's not possible, I will believe that there is another way, and there was always another way. And I followed that other way, and I found for myself that there is always another way. Doesn't matter what you will see on TV, what you will read in news, what you will hear, there's always another way. And that vision of the future that I'm sharing today with you is that another way. Nobody is talking about it. Nobody is talking about emotional intelligence. Master your emotions and you will master your life. What is emotional intelligence? To be aware of what your emotions are telling to you. Your inner messages, you know? It will not pop on your phone, hey, you need to separate yourself from this environment because it is not serving you anymore. You will only feel it within you if you will disconnect from it a little bit. Maybe you will need to close your eyes and get deeper to your body. Why am I so angry all the time? Why am I so triggered all the time? What are you trying to tell me? And you will receive answers. Well, that person was not so kind to you. Why that person was not so kind to you? Maybe you are not so kind to yourself. Maybe that person is just teaching you that you need to become more kind to yourself. Maybe you need to wake up and express more gratitude. Maybe you need to write your ideas down to see what all is happening in your mind. Maybe you need to change your behaviors a little bit. Maybe your actions are not supporting who you want to become. What your emotions are telling to you, becoming aware of that and learning from that is emotional intelligence. That's what ourselves in the future have mastered. But the question is, are we willing to get there? Are we truly willing to make those changes to get there? That's the greatest question. I believe we can. I believe in us. I believe in you. I believe in every single person that it's possible. Because right now, in the society, emotions are driving people. Those who feel scared, they're acting and reacting out of fear. Those who are angry, they're acting and reacting out of anger. And those who are happy are acting and reacting out of happiness. In future society, people will be guided by hearts. What is in their hearts, that's how they will act and react. Doesn't matter their emotional state, they will do what is in their hearts. And that's how they will train their bodies, because body is an animal. Body without awareness is an animal. Training yourself to be more aware is like training the animal to follow the master, and you are the master. You as the soul being, or as the self-consciousness or self-awareness, you are the master of your body. So act like it, my friends. And this is it for today. I'm sending you all love, blessings, and power. Have a beautiful day, my friends. And truly, trust yourself that there's always another way. Whatever you're willing to do, there's always another way which will open for you. And by inner guidance, you will find the path to walk on it. So this is it. One love, my friends.